Okay. Reaction?
Shocked.
Have you ever seen something like that?
No, it's crazy.
And so welcome and hello from what I gotta say is one of the most impressive cities I have ever been to. We are in Shenzhen, China. Not that many people might have heard about it, but if you look at the back of the labels of many products that you might be actually using, you might see Shenzhen, Guangzhou. So we are right now in one of the biggest provinces in China, in the Guangdong province. And this city is very famous for being pretty much a technological innovation hub. A lot of electronics, but really everything comes from here, from development to production to manufacturing, everything. Shenzhen really exploded over the last pretty much 20 years. Before that, it was just a small town, not much was happening here. And in the last 20 years, both the population as well as you see behind me, all of this has been built maybe 10 years ago, 15, 5. Construction is continuing, and the city sprawled into pretty much a mega city of 17 million people, actually even a bit more than that. And so today I want to take you along, explore it a bit, see what's going on, maybe buy some tech, we'll see. And honestly, the first thing that I took the ferry actually from Hong Kong to get here. This is pretty much the closest city on Chinese mainland you can get to, because if you have like a visa, you can go from Hong Kong with the train, but actually here they offer a visa on arrival. So it's like, yo, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, that is the plan right now. I think Guangzhou is a little bit older, but when I arrived here, the first impression was like, wow, is this maybe one new neighborhood? And then I looked it up and you realize that pretty much every neighborhood is a new neighborhood. There's huge skyscrapers sprawling from the ground. Pretty much you see a construction a month later, it's finished, and they have some amazing hotels. So I'm gonna show you that as well. But for now, let's take a little tour. I also have my Lisa on board. Come. How are you feeling? How are you first time in China?
Yeah, it's much different than I expected. And it's much more futuristic, like really futuristic, really another world.
Yeah, we've been to Hong Kong 2 times actually.
Yeah,
now we
it's
just, yeah.
It's
How you doing?
You send videos on Bilibili.
I do it on YouTube, but some people re-upload it on Bilibili actually.
Yeah, I saw your videos.
You saw my videos?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
thank you. Nice to meet you. I'm Danny.
Can I take a photo?
Sure, sure. What's your
I'm
name?
Camilo.
Tamino?
Yeah.
Nice, nice, all right.
Thank you.
And real quick, before we jump back into Shenzhen, let me tell you about Fume. Have you heard that the flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking? A whole new movement towards better habits with today's sponsor, Fume. You know, physiology shows that stopping a habit cold turkey is very hard for your brain. So Fume is an award-winning flavored air device that draws flavor to your mouth and not to your lungs. It's a great way to satisfy your oral fixation with non-toxic flavors, free from any nicotine nor vapor, and it's safe to use anywhere. A Fume is not a vape. If vapor was compared to sticky soda, Fume cores are closer to herbal teas. There's tons of delicious flavors to choose from, like crisp mint, orange, vanilla, and this thing is made for fidgeting. I'm telling you, it calms anxiety with magnets, snaps, and clicks, and distracting you from your bad habits. The Fume is absolutely premium quality. It's backed by US doctors, and it's sleek design, perfect to take anywhere with you, no batteries, for pretty much a third of the cost of the current bad habit you might have, and it helps you to gain freedom from smoke, nicotine, and toxins. So Fume has already helped over 300,000 people to build better habits. Try Fume today, and if you order the Journey package using my code DannyDev, you will get a free Fume topper, an awesome accessory to level up your experience. So go to tryfume.com at DannyDev or scan the QR code on the screen. And with that, let's hop back into today's adventure. And about that, so tons of big buildings everywhere. Here's a huge mall. Look, they have an IMAX. And actually, I think we could be actually
able to go and watch something, because here in China they don't translate movies, they just put subtitles under it. And let's see, tomorrow we're going to be actually moving to a different neighborhood, so this time really going to get the chance. I think 4 full days in Shenzhen is the mission. Ooh, I have to tell you, being in a city like Shenzhen right now, you're just thinking, what is going on in China? Like this place right now, yes, it is the city center, but it's like all around me there's something huge. Like they're really not playing it small in terms of their infrastructure, and most of it, I gotta say, looks really cool. I mean, these buildings, yeah, like it's an okay condo, it's probably one of the older developments, but next to that, basically one spaceship after the next. And what you also realize is the Chinese, they like to have a good time. Like there's some kinds of attractions everywhere, lots of children, family, little shops everywhere. Everything is alive, everything is busy, and the vibe on the street, like in terms of obviously like just comfort and safety, China is more open than it ever has been to tourism, which is what's, for me back in the day, you have to get like a complicated visa. Now popping in for the second time this year already. And Shenzhen, honestly, with the close proximity to Hong Kong so far, is actually for me kind of like the most livable, interesting city if I would have a reason to spend more time here. And it's almost like a lot of people come here because they're developing something, be it some type of technology. There's all the factories there, all kinds of guys that are doing business, selling products, be it any type of e-commerce. It usually brings you to these places. And then if you haven't your like Alipay figured out, if you haven't figured out your data, your VPN, it might be a bit complicated to be around here. But once all of that is sorted, it's actually very comfy to be on the ground. But compared to more touristy places, even Hong Kong, I find it more interesting than Hong Kong. I just do. Some people might not understand it because Hong Kong in some ways has a bit more like the history, recent history is very rich, and you see a lot of that. The city is much older, but here you see the real life. You see how people are living, you see the development of China. And a very common thing you're gonna see is cars inside of malls. Of course they have that everywhere, but in China pretty much any mall you pop into, even like phone manufacturers like Xiaomi, even they have their own cars. So here we're seeing like a more older neighborhood of Shenzhen, condos. And another thing that I love, that is quite nice, you get so much more for your money on China mainland. Of course, cities like Shanghai are a bit more expensive, but compared to Hong Kong, they're still pretty cheap. Compared to Western cities, they're very cheap. Like Hong Kong is kind of like, I would say, Western level accommodation, maybe even a bit more. So that's what I mean, is the architecture really has some art to it. I mentioned it in previous videos. For some people it's like, oh, it's man-made, it's buildings, but I think it's quite fascinating what humans can achieve within a fairly short time. And already compared to most Chinese cities, you definitely do see more Westerners here. Just walking through, saw a good bunch, but still, like I said, what I like the most is that here you see how Chinese people live in a really modern city and setting. And I gotta say, I have to keep saying, Shenzhen keeps blowing you away a little bit with the dimensions, with the amount of people. Here you can imagine how the number 1 billion happens. Around here is maybe just 1 million around me right now, but people are out and enjoying. It's weekend right now. I'm sure during the week is a bit more quiet. Options. So it almost makes you think like a lot of legendary Western cities, be it New York, be it Paris, they all had a golden era. And now, I like New York. LA not so much. The golden eras are over in some ways, in terms of there was a lot of growth, there was a lot of optimism, you felt things changing, opportunity being in the air. And that's what I actually feel around here. Like, of course, China, depending where you are, is very different, but Shenzhen is truly one of those cities where people's life transformed. Maybe not quite overnight, but time passes quickly, and you wake up 10 years later and your city just looks like one big spaceship. That's pretty much what happened here. Okay. Reaction?
Shocked.
Have you ever seen something like that?
No, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen kind of something like that. Big open air mall, busy mall. Usually doesn't sound nice. But here, like, seriously, what a concept. So inside regular mall, you have shops, but in the middle, all around it, they build kind of like these islands, a little bit Singapore style, including greenery in the architecture. And like, even though it is probably like around 1 million people like walking around here, I mean, it feels pretty chill, and aesthetically, visually, it's really nice. It's super open. You see all the skyscrapers, the whole city from here. And like I was mentioning before, in terms of prices, like we're in a mall right now, it's also like probably one of the most value to what you get best places. You are as modern as it gets on a global level, but you're paying like maybe, I don't know, my guess would be 60% of anywhere else in the city of that type of development.
And it's Christmas time. Look.
Yeah, Christmas time. Ah, funny. The Thai fusion is in Christmas mode. So yeah, Shenzhen is really onto something. So guys, we see from here, there's like so many different levels. People walk around all over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we're more or less on the top. And it kind of feels like walking through the city because it's so open. Even though you're inside of this mall complex thing. Down there, some boys are playing basketball. The tallest Chinese I've ever seen. They got some of them. And it's actually really cool. People are watching it, nice music pumping, and then you zoom out a little bit and you're in the middle of the city. And it looks like we found a pet shop in the middle of the mall. And seriously, the Chinese people, they know how to find the cutest, nicest cats ever. I think I've seen the most beautiful cats in this country.
Wow.
Here, this one I'll take. Just exploring the neighborhood here, obviously much calmer. No of the, there's a capitalist utopia back there. It's like any shop you can find and people buying like there's no tomorrow. Money's being printed around here. What I think is quite cute is they still got like some signs of the old school life, even selling newspapers, magazines, very kind of like business district vibe. And yeah, I'm a big fan of like different architecture. Not to say that this is like very beautiful, but it's quite interesting. Like this tower is super cool. This looks a bit older, has kind of like a hanging bridge on it. Really experimenting with what they're building here. And yeah, overall, just to say, this might be the most futuristic city. I think I've said it in the beginning of the video. Like there's not many cities, especially in Asia. Like, I mean, China obviously in terms of that is leaps ahead. Like Bangkok has a neighborhood like this, kind of, couple streets, nice and new. But you walk out in the life, you know, it's an old city. But here, it's like really within 20 years what they did. But while we're here, I wanted to stay like in the center. We also got a really nice place to stay. And I think that's gonna be the next stop I'm gonna show you. I don't know if this city has 4 seasons because it's pretty much December and it's nice 22 degrees. But they do have a 4th season. Let me show you that place. Okay, let me get my passport out. Okay, you guys, been a couple of stressful weeks, but now it's nice. Checked in. First time staying at the 4 Seasons, very excited. Got a terrace, got a room, got a gym, got a pool. Made it into the room. Wow, guys, it's absolutely beautiful. You see so much of the city. The evening is probably gonna be even crazier. 4 Seasons, a hotel I always wanted to stay. Like they're really known for just like, it's all about details. I'm very excited to explore it.
They have lilies. Lilies.
Lilies?
Yeah, they are real.
They're real. So cute.
Crazy. We've got macaroons with panda. With panda. Little panda. Look at this. Welcome to Shenzhen.
Cool. Look at the gates. We're destroying the Chinese wall.
So tasty.
White chocolate? Nice. When there's a wooden cart, you know it's way too fancy. And Four Seasons, I've always seen them. They're always kind of like one of the most, fancy ones. But the thing is, I saw that in Shenzhen, all the hotels are like a fraction of the price. Sometimes half, sometimes 3/4. But I gotta say, the quality you get here, actually, in terms of the building, in terms of the facilities, the views, is really all the way. The price is a good bit lower. So I think rooms, depending on the season, start here at 250, 300, depending on the season. Whereas at Four Seasons, anywhere else in the world, could be in the thousands, really, depending where you are. So here's a lady playing live music. That's very nice. Also, this is the breakfast, which this morning we slightly missed. Recovered a bit too much. Tomorrow morning definitely want to do it, but they have a super nice lounge. And there the breakfast is a bit longer always. Yeah. Let me take you to the terrace. It's slowly getting darker, but what I love about the whole place is like an open concept in many ways. So on the 29th floor, that's where the lounge is. So obviously a tall building. What else would you expect from China? But the cool thing is that in the summer they got an outdoor pool. Right now, a bit cold, honestly. But they also have an indoor pool, which is super nice, right next to the gym, which I want to do. I haven't worked out in a whole week, so it's nice to be in a place that truly offers everything. And here we are. As you see, the big pointy building I kept showing you all the time is right there. So the location is amazing. In the back, Shenzhen city center. Over here, still very busy. This is where we just walked. It's super nice. It's kind of like their private garden, so you can just walk around here, have a bit of nature for yourself, and then you're pop back in. I think they have like 3-4 restaurants here on the ground. But as always, and I would say Four Seasons is really all about the details. There's nothing over the top. Everything is just right. The symmetry, the aesthetics, the lighting. Like some hotels, they have like huge decorations or something like that. Here, it's very fine art, small little things. There's much more about the colors. Here, I love it. It's kind of like a brown caramel all throughout the hotel. There's like reflections everywhere. Art. I really understand why the Four Seasons is such a name. Staying at 2104. I'm not here anymore, so don't come looking for me. Let's turn on the light. We're seeing the lights out of the window. I'm gonna show you. And this building there is just the mall that we walked in. So right behind it is where we walked. The mattress. Guys, seriously, yesterday I lay down, falling asleep pretty much straight away. Wake up just to watch some TV, to enjoy a bit more, to enjoy my time here. Otherwise, would pass out right away.
On directions for use.
What are you doing?
To enjoy a
Nothing.
perfect cup of Nespresso coffee every time, we suggest.
I'm trying to turn on the coffee machine. Alrighty, so just did a quick, nice little gym workout. It's been a while, guys. I've been on the road so intensely over the last, let's say, what was it? Pretty much 2 weeks. I think I've hit the gym twice, so it's nice to be here. As you see all around me, this is the gym and pool area. Actually, a really nice pool as well. And then you can walk up here to the spa. So Lisa's having 2 drinks. I'm going for 1. And a lot of sushi. Look at that. So quite surprisingly, I gotta tell you, their lamb is one of the best I've ever had. Young lamb, perfectly prepared in a hotel lounge. I try lamb everywhere I go. It's one of the best. And this view is also quite something. And so good morning. Right now heading to the main breakfast. The gates. Perfect, let's go. It's truly like a proper, 5-star breakfast. We're starting with pastries at the entrance. They even have like a huge ice cream bar. Guys, look at that. Musang King Durian ice cream, rainbow ice cream with like fruit pieces in there. Seriously, you could easily food coma your way into the day. And so we are rocking out to a different neighborhood. It was super nice here in the center. Maybe gonna come back in the next few days, depending how the other areas feel and everything like that. Let's see. Okay. So this has been super nice overall experience. Super nice to be so central here at the Four Seasons. Honestly, a hotel I always wanted to stay just to kind of see how they do.
Okay, 512.
Yes. So ordered a taxi on Alipay. It's actually quite cool. On the Alipay app, they switch between different taxi providers. If you want, you can choose it. You don't need to like download one taxi app. And yeah, today a little bit cold, a little bit gloomy, but still, considering where we just came from, where I just came from, also both of us, it's still warm. So the other area should be, I think, a newer developed district from what I understand. Gonna be also moving to a very exciting hotel. That will be for a different video. So for China, really, after weeks of adventure travel, going out modern. And yes, it is the tallest building. I've looked it up. It's almost like 500 meters tall. Okay, my friends, the China trip just became even a bit more crazy. So like I said, the last month has really been adventure travel in countries not that many people go to. Even in China, I went to a region that is definitely not many people visited. But Shenzhen is really in many ways a city of the future. And moved right now to a new place. I'll show you. I have to. Well, maybe I spoiled it already a little bit, but I have to show you this in a separate video because we're in a very different neighborhood. Like maybe if there's no traffic, it's only a 20-minute drive. But we're barely seeing this tall building from high up. We are right now in the business district. Many companies are situated here, like Xiaomi, Alibaba have their headquarters here. But it's not just business. Like you see, some things are still being built here. Like I'd say it's mostly finished. But this is the newest part of the city that they have developed very recently. And this is truly, truly futuristic. Today is super hazy. We've just been upstairs, we got a view. So already on a hazy day, if the city looks super impressive, if it's gonna clear up a little bit, hopefully in the next couple of days. Super excited to take you along through this neighborhood as well. But yeah, that has been the first impression of Shenzhen. I think I've mentioned it before. I've been here once 6 years ago when I just started traveling back in the day, when in many ways I also have to like do a little gratitude speech, when what you see right now on the channel has been a wild dream. Like probably some of you maybe know, the OGs know, but my backstory is that I'm just a kid, an immigrant kid that grew up in Europe, always had big dreams, always was a little bit, someday, somewhere around 2017, 16, in my mind, the slogan came, "You got a world to see." And I was holding on to that. And over the years, it developed more into something that I call these days building a life of freedom around the world, going to different places, some for adventure, some for more freedom, more opportunity. And China is an interesting place, I think in some ways it's misunderstood in the Western world, because also Lisa here right now for the first time, and she's like, it's different than I thought. Yes, I expected big buildings. Yes, I expected whatever. No, Chinese food. But Shenzhen, and I keep telling Lisa, I'm like, look, remember, Shenzhen is one of the wealthiest, and I mean Shanghai, of course, but Shanghai is an older city. This is a city that's pretty much sprawled more or less out of nowhere, and it's going to be very exciting to explore it over the next couple of days. After that, I'm going to be going to Guangzhou, which is actually the largest metropolitan area in the world. It's even, like, let's say in terms of people living in an urban environment. So let's say in China there's Chongqing with like over 30 million people, but it's a region. Most people live rurally. Shanghai is the biggest city, sort of, where it's like the proper city, but in terms of urban setting, like people living actually in the city, Guangzhou, from, if I'm correct, if not, please correct me. And as you see, like I said, it's one of the wealthiest cities. We're just like random Bentley shop just around. I walk around like they're selling McLarens here on the street. But at the same time, it's not like a Dubai vibe or something in terms of modernity. It's not necessarily over the top. It's just, even on a cloudy day like today, I'm very impressed. I expected Shenzhen to be the way it is, but honestly, it's still growing. It's still building. And I'm gonna be also very excited to come back maybe in, I don't know, give it another 6 years, hopefully even a bit sooner. This is from where I'm gonna be showing you the views around here very soon. And so yeah, that has been a little bit the first day in Shenzhen. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. You can join me on Instagram to see where I am right now. Well, and with that, we got a world to see. In the next few videos, I'll show you much more of Shenzhen. Also, check out today's video sponsor, Fume, to build better habits going into 2025. But I gotta tell you, this China trip was truly on a different level. Coming soon.